All right, guys, welcome back to another video. And this is a very exciting unboxing video for me, at least. And I think for a lot of people who are looking into this controller, as this was a new controller announced for the Nintendo Switch. They're actually Joy-Cons. And as you can tell, they are GameCube Joy-Cons by Nixie. It's called the Nixie Wizard. It's a wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch Lite, and the OLED Switch. And finally showed up. They sold out really fast, and they had like another pre-order. So I believe everybody who got in on that second pre-order, their controllers are going to be showing up sometime soon. Mine just showed up today. So let's just unbox it. Let's take a look what this controller is all about, how it feels. So the top says start with gamers, stay with gamers. Here's the back of the box, and here's some of the features. So the most exciting thing are the Hall effect joysticks or Joy-Con on the Joy-Cons, because as we know, Nintendo Switch has that major problem with their Joy-Cons with the joystick drift, and I mean, there's been lawsuits and all that type of stuff. My original Joy-Cons had drift. Right now, I have these Joy-Cons on here, the Skyward Sword ones, which I think are the nicest Joy-Cons out there, but that's besides the point. And those are fine. Those have been working really, really good. They haven't drifted at all. Then we have the instant triggers, so lighter, less resistance, and have shorter trigger distances. Interchangeable joystick rings, alternate joystick rings for different games. ABXY buttons featuring white light effect, so these actually shine in the light. A comfortable feel, ergonomic non-slip design for an enhanced gaming experience. And then there's also 2 advanced gaming buttons that can be mapped on the back, which is pretty cool because it gives you those extra features on top of just the regular Joy-Con button. So the box, really nice, really heavy. It's actually a pretty good experience so far, just from a box experience. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but you know, when you're buying something that's premium, this was $100 Canadian, so I think it's like maybe 70 bucks American. You want to get at least a nice packaging when you're paying a decent price. Comes in this nice blue package and just slips open. This, I can do this on camera. Oh no, okay, it just comes up. All right, just comes up. Here we are, big reveal. Okay, well, I guess not the big reveal because it's still in the packaging. This is the control itself. We'll put that to the side, and we will go through what comes in the box besides controller. So you have the product manual wizard, which no one cares about. And then we have the package here for accessories, which will just be, okay, so it has the rings. I guess you could change up the rings on the joysticks themselves. And then the charging cable. So USB-C, as we can tell, USB-C for this, which is always a good thing. I mean, everything's USB-C these days. And then here's the actual controller itself. And there is the main events. So it's actually not very heavy. It's actually very, very light, which doesn't take batteries or anything. Rechargeable. It's very light controller. Like this compared, actually, you know what? I'll just grab it real fast. So I grabbed the Pro controller. It's actually, I think, like, yeah, it seems like it's lighter than the Pro controller, and it's definitely bigger. It just kind of feels like hollow inside. It's weird. It's very light. I didn't expect it to be this light. I expected it to be a heavier device. The Pro controller has a good weight to it, and I mean, it's not like a feather, but I feel like it's definitely lighter than the Pro controller, which to me, it's bigger. It's definitely bulkier. It's surprising that it is lighter, and I am not the biggest fan of lighter controllers. I do like heavier controllers. It just gives it more of a premium feel. So that's a bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's how does this thing function? How does it feel in your hands? And is it fun to play games with? So that if you're looking for a heavier, heftier controller, this is not going to be it. It is definitely very, very light. Now, first feel of it, right? Like this, if it's a GameCube controller, like a Wavebird, more like a Wavebird. And I love the GameCube controller. A lot of people, I think, didn't like it. I'm not sure. I mean, I think there's a mixed feelings on the game controller. I loved it. I thought I liked the button layout. I like the feel in my hands. I like the triggers and everything. And it feels like a GameCube controller. Obviously doesn't have that C-stick. That was the one thing about the GameCube controller that I did not like. And that was the C-stick. And now we have a full size joystick and it feels good. So we'll go over the quick look at this. The triggers, they're clicky. They're not analog. Obviously they're digital clicky triggers. Both the RL, ZL, ZR So just like, I mean, the Pro Controller, these have a little bit more, I guess, give to it, but again, they're essentially the same feel with a click to it. And then you have these buttons. I mean, these feel great. Feel like the GameCube controllers. Joysticks feel great. The actual D-pad itself is clicky. It's not as mushy. Like the Pro Controller here is a mushy D-pad. This one isn't really mushy. It's more clicky than anything, which people may not like that, but it does have like that swivel to it. So I think actually, you know what? That's actually a lie. It is clicky, but it does have a bit of mush to it. And I think this would actually be pretty good for fighting games and stuff. Just from a quick feel. I mean, you'd have to go out and try a fighting game with it and see how it feels. Then you have some buttons here. You have like the plus, the minus, the home, the actual screenshot button. And then you have these two buttons here, which are profile buttons where you can actually map the function buttons in the back here. So I guess you can have multiple different profiles depending on what you want for what these buttons actually do. And then there's two turbo buttons. So there's turbo functionality on this controller, which is really, really cool. Now, like I said, these are actual Joy-Cons, so this should just come straight up. I haven't taken this off before, but I feel like it should just be the same. Yeah, there we go. It's new, so it was a little bit stiff getting it off of there. Same with here, this one here. You should just push that button and then boom, there it is. And that's just the middle piece that it comes with. Let's leave that there. And you have the syncs and everything. And again, you can use this as like, you know, the Joy-Con that they have with the Joy-Con if you want to pass this off to someone else to play, because it does have the SL and the SR on both of them. So you can even split it apart and boom, you're playing with split GameCube controllers on the Nintendo Switch. Now let's put this actually on the Nintendo Switch and see how this feels. All right, so here it is. It's attached to my Nintendo Switch. I have Fire Emblem running. It's the only game I have right now on cartridge in it right now. So I could download some other things that would probably be better to show off when using these controllers. But I have to say instantly, the first thing that I feel is that this is going to be far more superior for comfort compared to using the Joy-Cons. One of the things with the Joy-Cons is that they are small. I have decently sized hands, and my hands fall asleep. They fall asleep when playing the Switch in handheld mode, which is why I just play docked and use my Pro Controller most of the time. But with this thing, I can see myself sitting there for hours playing in handheld mode because it's just, they're bigger, they're bulkier, way more to grip. It has that GameCube feel with like the grips back here. So I love that. I think this is going to be a really nice upgrade for playing in handheld mode. The sticks are full sized, which just feel way nicer. It does have that like divots here as you go around. It's not smooth here like the Pro Controller, which I don't mind. It gives you that nostalgic GameCube feel. I don't mind that. It like just really lets you feel exactly where you are on the stick. I'm not going to complain about that. I actually think it's pretty cool. And you can see here the buttons are backlit. I don't know if it's easy to see here with the light shutting down, but the buttons are backlit as soon as you turn on this Joy-Con or connected to your Nintendo Switch. Got the clicky triggers up here. Now, would I like more analog triggers? Yes, but the Nintendo Switch doesn't have analog triggers. There are no games that utilize it, right? So they go with the clicky ones here, which are fine. I mean, it feels fine. I can't really complain. Kind of loud, not gonna lie. The clicks are a little bit loud, but it's very satisfying, the click. Now, everything else is just in reach and it just feels good. And you can take a look what it looks like on the back here. The Switch is like kind of sticking out a bit. So keep that in mind. It is not flush with the back of the controller, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, feels good. I think this is going to be a way better handheld experience than playing with the Joy-Cons, and probably will be a great experience playing just in handheld mode, whether it's like this, because there's just, well, there is more heft to it. It may not be as comfortable long periods as the Joy-Cons, but it may. I mean, I would have to put hours into it before I come to that conclusion. But playing it just like as a regular controller, like a regular GameCube, essentially a Wavebird feeling controller, definitely will feel great for a long period of time. Will it replace this when I'm playing on the couch, when I'm playing on TV mode? I don't know, because to be honest, the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller is one of the best feeling controllers on the market, in my opinion. And this would have to put hours of gameplay to see if it will feel the same. But definitely these will be attached to my Switch for handheld mode for the foreseeable future. Now, one thing I will mention is that just from using this for like 5-10 minutes or so, just my initial impressions, one negative I will say is that it does feel cheap. The plastic, the joysticks, just everything aesthetically, and like all the buttons, it feels cheaply built. Now, I'm not saying that means it is cheaply built. Maybe that's just what they were going for. They wanted a lighter feel and everything. The backlit is a nice touch and all that, but it does feel cheap, and only time will tell if it is actually cheaply built. Will this break down over time? If it doesn't break down at all, the feel doesn't really matter. As long as it functions well and feels good in your hands, then it's all good. But we'll see in time. Like if you compare it to the Pro Controller, this feels significantly more premium than this controller, just from the feel, the weight, the button feel, all that type of stuff. So that's the one negative I will say so far in my very short time of using the Nixie Wizard. I'm going to leave the video there, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have this, what your experience has been, if you've been using a lot, all that type of stuff, or are you looking to pick this up? If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.